So which is it, WAV or MP3? Now, I have a feeling that people using MP3s already are interested in this video as they want to know like what's the difference, and then they want to know if they need to upgrade from MP3 to WAVs. As the people already using WAVs most likely view MP3s as dirty files, kind of like fast food that's accessible anywhere. So in truth, right, MP3s are not as good as WAV, as WAV is the original uncompressed version of the track. So in essence, it hasn't been tampered with, and I guess it's like the song's absolute purest form of the original track, like it's pure, untouched, right? As MP3s are the compressed version. This means MP3s download and load faster, and they take up less space on your computer, as they're literally 1/3 of the size of most WAVs, which makes MP3s cheaper, way more accessible than WAVs, and a lot of people use them. Now, put it this way, right? Most DJ pools don't even give you an option to get WAVs. It's MP3 or nothing, which probably means the majority of DJs are using MP3s. But before I jump into my personal thought on whether it's okay to play MP3s in clubs or do you need the original WAV, there is an important distinction to make about the different sizes of MP3s you can get. For instance, the higher the MP3's bit rate, the better the sound's going to be. Now, for those of you who are like, what the fuck is a bit rate, right? So bit rate is the number of bits per second encoded in a file. So the higher the bit rate, the more information is retained, hence the better the quality of the audio. So when you download tracks from DJ pools, the bit rate is typically 320 kbps. And I'll be honest, right, this sounds great in a club and has plenty of oomph. It's only when you have low bit rates that it starts presenting issues. Now, for instance, if you're using YouTube converters or you download your tracks off torrents, more often than not, the bit rate is 128. Now, this may not sound that bad through your little sound system at home, but put tracks at 120 bit rate through a sound system, like a big sound system, and it sounds empty. Now, this may be really bad news for many people, especially people that have been using YouTube converters and have a full library of tracks all at low bit rate, right? As in truth, you're not going to be able to play tracks that have a 128 bit rate in a club, as it is noticeable. And I've known club owners, they've kicked DJs off for using low audio files. Like, it really does, it sounds bad. Now, here's the thing, right? Before I move on to what I feel you should be getting, right, there's one last thing to note. If you are downloading your tracks off dodgy places like, like converters stuff and torrents, sometimes the ID3 tags may say the track is at 320 kbps, but then when you play it through a big sound system, it still sounds terrible. So what's up with that? So in short, do not trust music that you get from free sites. Now, quite often, right, these dodgy places may have downloaded the file at 128, like that's the original, that's what they've got it at, and they've upscaled it to 320, but really, they're just expanding a small file and making it bigger, and hence, it's comparable to downloading a small image and then expanding that image. But when you expand it, it becomes super pixelated. So long story short, right, you're always better off buying your tracks either through Beatport or through DJ pools, where you are paying to get the full version of the track. And quite often these DJ sites will also give you DJ versions with intros and outros, which is really handy for DJs as it gives you more time to mix in your new track, right? So, and it also means through getting and paying for it, you're supporting the artist as the artists get a cut per sale. So now quickly, right, the final verdict. Do you need WAVs to play in a club, or can you use MP3s? Now, I would say the majority of people playing in clubs are using MP3s, but it's essential that the MP3 is at 320, well, at least 256 kbps. So if you're using a DJ pool and all your tracks are at 320 or 256, honestly, no stress. You can use these in a club, and I'll be honest, no one's going to know the difference. Now, yes, sure, the WAVs are better, but the question is, will the average person rocking out in a club, right, be able to hear that difference? And the truth is probably not. Now, it was funny, right? But when I was researching this topic, what I found this interesting article where someone was playing the same track, right? Like one was at 320, like MP3, and the other one was the WAV file, right? Both through this speaker out loud, and people were trying to compare, and no one could tell the difference, right? So I guess it was kind of like a Pepsi challenge, you know? So no one knew. Okay, but what I found interesting was someone came in with some hate in the comment section saying, of course you're not going to be able to tell like through those speakers and stuff. The only real way to tell is to have both tracks playing through high quality studio headphones, right? So that means you're there in the studio. And personally, right, that person unwittingly, right, I think his comment actually says it all, and that is, if you are a producer and you are like doing edits and you're cutting up the track and doing remixes, basically all on very high powered headphones and studio monitors, then 100%, yes, get WAVs, the original file. That's gonna like, then when you convert the WAV, and maybe then what will happen is you'll produce a track, you know, using the WAVs to produce the track, and then when you get to a point that you're like, oh, how are you going to export it to play? Chances are you might put it then as an MP3, you know what I mean? But the WAV's a good working file, you know what I mean? And yes, 100%, like there's a lot of big DJs probably using WAVs, right? And maybe because they're semi/producers as well and used to using the WAV file, right? But I think just for the average DJ, honestly, I don't think people are going to notice. I guess in one way, right, it's the difference between a brand new t-shirt worn for the first time versus a t-shirt that has been washed once. So in a club, no one's going to know, right? But it's when you wash that t-shirt a dozen times and you basically get the low bit rate in the metaphor, right? So you just wash the track and it becomes smaller and smaller, and the bit rate gets less and less, right? That's when you start to notice. So using MP3 is no doubt more accessible, and I feel no one's going to notice anyway. So if you have MP3s at 320 bit rate, you're in a much better position than all the people out there with MP3s with a bit rate of 128. But let's say you are one of those people who needs to do an overhaul of your library, right? And you've got low files, or maybe you're just new to DJing. You're just wondering, do I get the MP3 or WAV from this moment, right? I guess it comes down to, have you got storage issues and stuff? So, because that's another thing, the WAV takes up a lot of space, and how accessible is the WAV? Like, you know, where can you get it? So let's say you're signed up for BPM Supreme or a DJ pool and WAV isn't an option. Well, honestly, just get the MP3. Honestly, like, it's not going to be a problem. But let's say you're getting stuff on Beatport where you can pay a little bit extra to get the WAV, and there are some DJ pools, right, where you can actually get the WAV as well. So, and let's say it's an option there. Do you get the MP3 or the WAV? Now, again, like, yeah, it comes down to storage. So, but let's think about it, right? So the average WAV is probably about 60 to 80 megabytes, and an MP3 at 320 is probably about 15 to 20 megabytes. Now, this means if you have a 1 terabyte hard drive, which equals 1 million megabytes, 1 million megabytes divided by 70 megabytes, it means you could probably fit about 14,000 tracks on that 1 terabyte hard drive. But then, let's say on a USB, you could probably, 16 gigabyte USB, you could probably get about 200 WAVs on there, right? But here's the thing, because they're bigger files, so they might be slightly slower to load. But then again, if you get a USB like 3.0 fast loading, it should be okay. Anyway, I'm really keen to hear what you all use, but my guess is the majority of people watching this and the majority of club DJs are using 320 bitrate MP3s. And unless you're producing music and using the file to produce high quality mashups and remixes, I'd say you'd probably be okay with MP3s with a 320 bitrate. Now, I know that people using WAVs may feel differently, and then that opens up another debate, like, you know, is vinyl better than sounding CDs, or just because you use sync doesn't make you the real DJ and all that stuff. But the truth is, right, follow your heart and don't be too concerned with what anyone else thinks, right? If no one's going to notice anyway. You know, do you, man, it's cool. Now, I feel all in all, right, we need to keep like our focus on the community and the culture around DJing. And I honestly feel the community and the support we have for each other, even on this page, right, it's really encouraging for me, and I honestly feel really motivated to help you all as much as I can by continuing to deliver, like, you know, quality content that assists you. Now, DJing is a community. We must have each other's back. Now, I know I'd like to think personally I have yours by giving you this information and stuff. So anyway, end of rant. I do that. I saved it for the end this time at least. But anyway, hope that's helped. And again, you know, love to hear your thoughts below.